8 small changes to improve your life forever. Change number 1, a 5-minute timer to clean. You can ask me, hey, what's going to happen in 5 minutes? And it's counterintuitive to a lot of cleaning principles. In fact, a lot of people say, hey, you have to get things cleaned at once and then, forget about it forever. But what happens in my case, friends, is, my desktop is slightly messed up. I pick up a book from my library. I just keep it, at some random place inside that bookshelf and things like that. And over time, this frustration starts building up. Suddenly I see my bookshelf one day, I'm like, oh my God, why am I such a terrible person? And I have like a breakdown. Or let's say I'm seeing my desktop suddenly and I don't know what's happening, and then I suddenly, end up deleting all those stuff. So what I have started doing is have like a 5-minute timer to clean up one thing every day. For example, Mondays are my day to clean my library, right? I set a 5-minute timer, start and finish, and you'd be surprised that with repetitions, the number of minutes that I take to clean my library has come down to 3 minutes. Similarly, every Friday I clean my desktop, right? And every Sunday evening I ensure that my desk is cleanly set up for me starting the week on Monday. So a 5-minute timer, so you could pick up anything that you want. It could be like, hey, 5 minutes to clean your wardrobe, stop and move on. And one day it could be your desktop, clean, move on, and things like that. And you would be surprised at the amount of cleaning and the how organized your environment is around you. And just 5 minutes is all it takes. Change number 2, make terrible things, right? A lot of times when I speak with people, I realize that they take themselves very, very, very seriously. For example, I have a friend who's very, very good with singing, and she doesn't want to post videos on Instagram or YouTube, though she's been wanting to do it for a very, very long time, simply because she's fearing judgment, right? And there is this other friend of mine who's very, very good with art and painting, and he doesn't want to post about it on Instagram and things like that, right? And that's because we take ourselves too seriously. I'm not saying, hey, everyone needs to post on social, but all I'm saying is make terrible things, right? For example, I really suck at drawing and painting. But what I've started doing as a fun activity before bed is to color. I've got a few coloring books and I've started coloring them, around 20-30 minutes before going to bed. I know it looks terrible, but hey, who cares, right? And what this has helped me is it has helped me reduce my phone time before going to bed. And it has also ensured that I am always practicing something that I don't know. So I'm always piquing my curiosity and always I'm always finishing something that I'm not comfortable with. So mind you, I'm not saying that, hey, you have to publish or be social about everything that you're doing or, everything that you're creating, but ensure that you're always creating something that you're not very comfortable with, which is drawing and painting. In my case, it could be speaking in front of the camera for you. So you could just record yourself for every day for 2 minutes and just keep it in your phone's folder, and you will be amazed at how well you will get with time. So that's the change number 2 that I recommend you do. Make terrible things every single day, or at least at a regular interval. Change number 3 is the 5-second rule. So the 5-second rule is basically was proposed by the psychologist. Again, I'll link her talk at the description. Is about when you want to do something very, very difficult, just set off this timer in your head. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom, get up and get to do that work, right? This has helped me, especially with me wanting to sleep in the morning, because my alarm goes off. I keep thinking, 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, and before I realize I've slept for 1.5 hours. So when my alarm goes off, the only thing I tell is, okay, you know what, I'm going to tell a timer. At the end of the timer, I'm just going to get up. And some days I start from 10, some days I start from 5, but at the end of it, I always end up getting up, right? Similarly, I've started employing this tactic for most of the difficult tasks or projects during my day. For example, shooting one of these videos, there are days where I don't feel like shooting. So I set up the camera and I do everything, and I then say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then start shooting, right? I might make terrible videos, but I still end up accomplishing. And because I'm in the flow, I just re-record with a better structure or a better flow and things like that. But it helps me get started with the most difficult things, and I'm sure it's going to help you as well. So that's the change number 3, 5-second rule. 4th one, set systems and not goals, right? This is a very, very small change I picked up from Atomic Habits, which speaks about when I say, hey, I want to lose 20 kgs, I'm every milestone that I achieve towards the 20 kgs, I feel like I am a failure, right? So there might be this 1 month where I lose 4 kgs, the next month I might lose 3 kgs, and then the third month I might end up gaining 2 kgs. So what ends up happening is, until I achieve that whatever weight loss I need to make, I'm measuring myself against a failed goal, or I consider myself a failure. Whereas a system is slightly or very, very different from a goal. So system is you saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to get 8 hours of sleep, I'm going to have good nutrition, I'm going to move well, I'm going to do some strength training or running or whatever floats my boat, and I'm going to ensure that I eat clean, right? I'm not going to eat junk food. This is far more sustainable, because one, you will end up losing 20 kgs and you will end up maintaining the new weight for a much, much longer time. Whereas in the first case, where I have set myself a goal of losing 20 kgs, once I lost 20 kgs, then what? Suddenly I end up having a crash, and then I stuff all the junk inside my mouth and tummy, and then end up gaining all the weight that I lost. So set systems and play an infinite game, as opposed to you setting goals and playing a very, very finite game. It's a small mindset shift. Same goes for my creator journey. So when I started out, my 15th or 20th video, I was telling myself, hey, I need to reach 1,000 subscribers. But until my biggest mindset shift came in, once I realized that, hey, I'm going to post one video every Wednesday, and I'm going to keep getting better at it in ways that I know. And once I started having that mindset, this process became far more enjoyable. So you're seeing the difference between a system and a goal, right? So I hope that's the fourth change I want you to make. A small change, but a very, very significant one. Fifth one, talk to professionals, right? I know I say this from a point of privilege, but if there has been one thing that has immensely helped my mental health, it's been working out and all those things, guaranteed, like good food and stuff like that. But speaking to a professional who understands mental health, who's equipped to handle the various stressors of life, has been one of the biggest enhancers of my life. Yes, you need to pay that professional to, they will help you see side of yours that you didn't even realize existed and things like that. I'm no mental health expert, so I highly recommend, if you can afford it and if you really feel like you need that help, take the help of a professional, and you will be surprised at the impact that you see with yourself. I can't recommend this enough, friends. So change number 6 is, how can this be positive, right? So a lot of times, any negative experiences that we undergo are very, very momentary, friends. So for example, let's say you might be going through a slight stressor at job, or you might have a slight strain in your personal relationship, or a project that you started isn't going too well on a creator front and things like that. But yes, I'm not saying you shouldn't experience negative emotions, but while experiencing negative emotions, also try and see, hey, what is this telling me, or how can this be more positive, right? So once you start doing that, you will be surprised at the amount of things that you will be able to uncover. For example, let me take my own example, right? So for the longest time while I've been publishing YouTube videos, I've always felt very, very demotivated, and there were phases during last year where I didn't publish videos for a very, very long time. And since then, a random friend told me this, saying, hey, always ask yourself, what is this telling me? How can this be positive? So these two questions. So then I asked myself, hey, what is this telling me? Maybe I need to produce more videos to get a hang of what my audience wants. So what does this tell me? It tells me that, with time, I will be getting better with it. So let me focus on getting one element better in each video. So it could be thumbnail in some videos, it could be avoiding repetitions in another, it could be having better descriptions, it could be having better titles. So I try to improve one thing, and steadily I've been seeing good amount of growth, right? Not very kind of staggering growth, but something that I am happy with. So always ask yourself, how can this be positive, and what is this telling me? The 7th one is the 2-minute rule. So the 2-minute rule is very similar to the 5-second rule, but it's slightly more similar yet different. So the 2-minute rule is basically you telling yourself that, hey, if anything takes less than 2 minutes to do, get it done immediately, right? Because a lot of times, a couple of these, around 10-20 of these 2-minute tasks, we keep storing in our head, and suddenly leads to a lot of frustration, right? So what I usually do is, whenever I'm doing deep work, or whenever I'm something else, I get reminded of something, I immediately note it down in my phone, and then if it takes less than 2 minutes, I get it done immediately, while I'm done doing the work that I was doing. Or if it's going to take more than 2 minutes, I just add it to a to-do list and then continue doing what I was doing, right? So if anything takes less than 2 minutes, be it official or personal, get it done immediately. Change number 8 is stop comparing yourself to others, right? This is the biggest mistake which is still plaguing me, and I don't want to be very, very philosophical about this, but if there is one single thing that you can do, or a small change that you can make to yourself, around stopping to compare yourself with others, I can assure you that your life will be much, much, much better, because your journey is very, very unique to yours. Their journey is very unique to theirs, and what at times we don't realize is, we just see the outcomes of where they are, discounting all the struggles, or discounting all the things that have aided to that journey, right? Maybe someone is more privileged than yours. Maybe someone has been working way too harder than you on that project for a very long time. Maybe someone got really lucky. Maybe someone had access to things that you didn't have, or maybe there are a ton of things that contribute to someone's success and failure. And the biggest mistake that all of us do is, we compare the end state of where we are with the end state of where someone else is, and then we compare ourselves, and we beat ourselves in that process. So the only thing I would tell you is, whenever you start comparing yourself, this is something that I have started doing, is I ask them, hey, what can I replicate from their journey? This is a question that I keep asking myself. So if I see I'm envious of someone's career, or envious of someone's achievement, while I have this momentary urge to compare myself to them, I always ask myself, hey, what can I learn from this person? And I start approaching their journey from a point of curiosity, and adopt things that I could be adopting into my own life and my own journey. So this way, I'm kind of reframing this whole emotion that I'm going through, and I'm not beating myself up with saying, this guy has just produced 100 videos but has like 1 million subscribers, but me, I have like 200 odd, but who am I to this thing? So I keep thinking, okay, what has this person done right to ensure that he or she has reached that scale, right? So stop comparing yourself. So that concludes the 8 small changes that I wanted you to make, or that I'm trying to make, or trying to master. Until I see you in the next video, this is Praveen Ramesh signing off.